Have you ever thought about maybe building your own home? It's the best way to get what you want. Design it yourself. Well, today's video, we're going to talk about new construction and how it works. I'm Craig Cyphers, and I work with my daughter Erica at Exit Realty Bitterroot Valley South. We're the Cyphers family real estate. Our family's been helping folks buy and sell real estate across Montana since 1966. We'd love to be a resource for you, and all the information that you need to get a hold of us is in the description down below. We'd love to have you hit that button, that logo down on the right-hand side, to be notified whenever we come out with a new video about Montana real estate, Montana lifestyle, the culture, all things related to Montana that makes it interesting and why you want to live in Montana. So today we're going to meet with Daniel Pendergast with MT Builders, and we're going to go through construction, the midstream, and we're also going to look at a finished product. So let's take a look at what we've got going at MT Builders. So, Daniel, my friend, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
So, you guys, we've been, you know, MT Builders has been doing houses here in the valley for quite a while.
Yep. Coming up on 10 years.
10 years, okay. And so what we're doing today is we're out in the 3 Mile area, and we're going to go through a new build. But let's talk about this starting right from scratch. And we need some ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys have got the ground, but if you're a homeowner or you want to build your own home, first thing you have to have is some ground. And so there is a video on vacant ground in the Bitterroot, but this goes for any place in Montana. And all of them are a little bit different in terms of jurisdiction because we don't have a building department in Ravalli County. And that was something that we covered in HOAs and covenants and that sort of thing. So it's really up to you guys. You got to have an electrical permit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You need an electrical permit, and then this one specifically is outside of city limits.
Right.
So you don't need technically a building inspection. If you're within city limits, you need a city building inspection.
Right. And so we don't have any zoning in the county. There are, of course, the covenants and HOAs, and this particular lot does have that.
Yes, it does.
And so once we get our ground, what's the first thing that happens?
Well, first thing would be once you secure the ground, you're going to want to get septic permit.
Okay.
And then you're going to want to get a well designed and figured out what would fit on that particular lot or piece of land. And then after that, the next step would be a foundation, digging the foundation,
okay,
and then pouring concrete. And then you get to this here, which is the framing stage. And then after that is insulation, and then drywall, and then paint, and then you finish everything else out.
To finish. And then when we're talking about electrical, we've got to have a pedestal.
Yep.
And out here, who do we have, for example, for our service provider?
Northwestern Energy.
It is Northwest and Western Energy.
This one specifically is actually REC.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And do we have gas out here?
No.
Okay.
You have to bury or have above ground propane tank.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. And the other thing that you mentioned is the septic permit.
Yep.
And I will tell you that in Ravalli County, for example, if you start building without a septic permit, it's a $1,000 fine right out the gate.
Yes.
So the septic is really important. And of course, you're going to have septic approval on the lot. In order to get that, you may have to do some groundwater monitoring. Mm-hmm. We talked about that in the land video, and that's a process that can take from March to August in any given year. So if you buy a piece of ground that doesn't have pre-approval for septic, that's important to know because that might put your project off about a year.
Yep.
So anyway, so now we've got, for example, our well here. How deep is it, do you know?
I think the well here is about 80 feet.
Okay.
Which is pretty dang good.
Yeah, it really is.
And then if you go onto the west side, that's something to look out for. Their wells usually aren't as good as far as gallons per minute and pressure. So this side, we're kind of in the valley floor a little bit, getting up into the east side, and the wells tend to be a little bit less, a little more shallow and better gallons per minute.
Right. Okay. And a well is going to cost us about $75
Yep.
bucks a foot.
Yep.
Then
As of now.
As of now.
Usually goes up.
Yeah, well, and I can remember when it was 35,
Yeah.
but that's a whole different story. With regard to the well, then we're going to have, all the electrical stuff with the well and the pump,
Yep.
submersible pump. So, well, let's go take a look at what we've got going here. You can see it's kind of roughed in. We've got some can lights on our porch here. And let's go ahead and go in it. So we're at our framing stage. And about how long does it take to get to this level?
I'd say once you break ground and get to this level where it's dried in and the subs can come in, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC, and rough everything in, is if everything's running smoothly, a month and a half.
Okay. And so what would be the time from start to actual finish in terms of days typically?
Typically, I would say 6 months is probably the quickest time frame you're going to see. And then depending on how custom you want to get with the home, for us, it's, within 7 months to a year. So 7 months to 12 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that would be on the outside. So you've got to really plan ahead.
Yes.
Because you think about that groundwater monitoring, you could be a year and a half out on some of the builds.
Easily.
The other thing is that there is a number of custom builders. You guys have your own ground, and so that's a little bit different than some. And most of the homes that you do build, for the most part, we've had good luck in doing some specs.
Yeah.
Also, I would say more specs.
Yep, definitely.
Than the custom side, but there's been some, the ones that we did up on Ridge Road were unbelievable
Yeah.
and great buys. And of course, one of the things that we talk about that affected you guys during the pandemic was the supply chain.
Yep, 100%.
How are we doing with that nowadays?
Supply chain looks pretty good as far as getting parts and, nails and just little things like that people don't think about that goes into a house. But so far, subs have been able to get all their parts, and we've been able to get a lot of our different things. Like appliances was one of the big ones. They were out like 6 months back during COVID.
Right.
And now they're down to being able to stock within a month. So
Okay.
those everything's kind of come down as far as supply goes. Depends how picky you are too.
Well, let's take a look. Give us a tour.
Yeah.
What do we got here for design?
Yep. So you walk in here and you have your coat closet. Usually those are bypass doors. You can do bifold as well. And then if you walk in this way, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So 0 entry, so no steps into the house. And this is one of the guest bedrooms,
Okay.
also with the closet.
Guest bath.
Yep, the guest bath right here. With the tub insert.
And in terms of our plumbing,
Yeah.
is that PEX? Or,
Yep, that is
Yeah,
PEX.
okay.
Yep.
So that's, back in the day we used copper, but PEX is great because copper can have some problems.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when it comes to freezing in Montana. If anything were to happen and your furnace went out, PEX can withstand more freezing than copper does.
There you go.
Yep. And then this is the second guest bedroom, also with the closet and the bathrooms right in between them. So
Perfect. Okay.
if you come this
And then we're
way,
walking through walls here.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's sometimes hard for people to visualize space.
Yep.
Until you kind of get to this, the framed in
Yes.
end of it. And then once the sheetrock comes in, then you can really see it.
Yeah.
So what's our next, we've got to pull wiring,
Yep.
would probably
Yep.
be our next step.
Yep, definitely. Looks like they got their boxes up and they're just gonna have to go in and saw in some holes and pull their wires and then insulate, and then it should be real close to ready for drywall.
Right, okay.
And then as you come in here, this is the living space area. And then vaulted ceilings.
Right.
Then kitchen space here. About an 8-foot island will be right here.
Okay, then our, where we have our stove, refrigerator.
Yep, stove, and then actually refrigerator will end up going on that wall.
Okay.
And then these will be all cabinet uppers. And then fridge with upper above the.
Then what do we, well, it's a laundry room, it looks like.
Yep, laundry room here. Another coat closet. Sometimes we'll put 4 or 5 shelves in there too for food storage. And then right here will be a sink, kind of a mudroom sink that you have when you walk in from the garage.
A deep sink, in our garage. Now, in terms, where's our hot water heater?
Hot water heater will be back here in the mechanical room if you want to go look at that.
Yeah, let's look at the mechanical. Okay, it's off the garage,
Yep, off the garage.
So we'll have our furnace in here as well?
Furnace will be down in the crawl space.
Okay, and that's fairly common these days. A lot of people don't recognize that furnace. And then you've got your attic access right here.
Yep, we usually put that in the garage.
And what kind of insulation are we looking at in our?
R60 for blowing fiberglass insulation.
Okay, great insulation, as we call it, on the lid.
Yep, yeah, exactly.
And so when you do, now this particular house, is this a custom house then?
Nope, this one will just be a spec.
Okay.
Yep.
And so you'll put this on the market, what, roughly 30 days before you're finished, or what?
Depends. Sometimes we list it a little bit earlier. Usually when we have some inside stuff for people to look at, maybe after drywall, they can come in and get a better visual, and then for pictures as well.
Okay.
So it's a little more marketable once you get some more, a more visual for people to see.
Right, yeah. And so our hot water heater's here, furnace downstairs, pressure tank for the well in order to give us pressure in the house.
Yep.
Is going to be also in the crawl space?
It'll be in the mechanical room.
Oh, it will be in the mechanical room. And that's great. Okay. All right. Well, that gives you a kind of an overview of, the process and what it looks like when it's at this stage, just before we get the wiring in and the sheetrock. So let's go take a look at a finished product.
Sounds good.
All right. So here we are at a finished house. And remember, if you've got some comments, they have some questions about new builds or real estate or communities, that sort of thing, leave us a comment and we'll get back with you. And we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel. We've got, we think, some great content that's helpful for you with respect to buying property, building, etc., real estate in Montana. And we'd like to have, if somebody is thinking about building, you might want to share this with them. But so we're here at the finished house. This actually was done for your sister.
Yep.
So this was not a spec, it was essentially a custom.
Yeah.
And so the only thing that I'd point out is that this is going to have a rock face. And so we're just waiting for better weather.
Yeah.
And a rock. So let's go check it out. Nice covered porch, which is great for a day like today.
Definitely. Keep you out of the rain and the snow.
Yeah, we're just a little before Thanksgiving here in Montana, so we're bound to have a little bit of weather. But remember, this particular area is the banana belt. So
Yep.
Do you have any banana trees here?
No, not here.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and you go first.
All right. Sounds good.
I don't know. Do they have a dog?
They do. She's out back.
Oh, okay.
I think.
So this is a great open floor plan. And tell me about the lighting in here, because it's can lighting, but...
So this one specifically actually isn't can lights. We call them saucer lights. So we could actually turn them on here so you can get a visual on them.
Nice. And it's nice and toasty in here.
Yeah, it's got the fireplace going.
A wood fireplace, kind of an insert situation, isn't it?
Yep, it is an insert with a rock face, rock in around that. So that was a custom deal with custom wood mantle right out of 3 Mile Creek, actually.
Really nice.
So local wood, and then the shiplap look up there too.
Yeah.
Adds a little bit of character. But yeah, you got vaulted ceiling in here. This one particularly is 8-foot walls. In the previous video, they were 9-foot walls. That's kind of our standard.
Oh, on the house that we were just in?
Yep, but these guys wanted to go a foot shorter. It'll save you a little bit of money, and if you go with the big vault in the living room, it still feels pretty big.
Yeah, it's got good mass.
Don't really notice that foot difference. But yeah, if you make your way over here, got your dining room, of course, and then here are the 2 guest bedrooms. One on the right, one on the left.
Let's get some light on our subject.
Yeah.
Hey, how about over the island? Where's the light for that? somewhere. Oh, maybe it's.
Here you go.
Oh, we've got some
There
light
we
on the
go.
subject. So anyway, we've got our guest portion,
Yep.
guest suite or guest
Yeah.
wing.
Yeah, guest wing. This would be a good spot for it. Yeah, you got good views out of each one.
Oh yeah.
Transom window, right above the bed in here, with a pretty large closet with bypass doors.
Yeah, nice light. Excellent.
We try to maximize as much natural light as we can.
Guest bath.
Guest bath in here.
Same size room.
Yep, same size room on each side.
Great. How many square feet in here?
This one is right around 1,600. I can't remember the specific one. It's 1,630.
Okay. And now it really depends on finishes in terms of cost.
Yep.
But Daniel, do you have a sense or a comfort in saying what kind of a range would people be looking at on a home similar to this per square foot?
Per square foot to build, I'm gonna say right around 300 probably.
Okay.
That's probably what it's gonna cost.
Yeah. And I know in some of these homes that we have around here on the super custom, they're 450,
Yeah.
500
Plus, yeah. Yep.
But this is a great space, and you've got the kitchen. We've got the propane stove. Do we have a buried propane tank?
Yep, this one's a buried propane tank as well.
Okay, so buried propane tanks are typically 1,000 gallons.
Yep.
And do you know what propane's running right now?
I want to say $1.20.
Oh, it's that
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I have a 500-gallon variable propane tank, and we used it all winter. I have a wood stove too, which I would recommend doing living in Montana just because of the extra heat you can get. But yeah, it cost me about $400 to fill it up, and I didn't use it all. But
Do you have air conditioning as
yep,
well?
yep. This is air conditioned as well.
So we've got propane fire, forced air heat, and use that same vent system for our air conditioning.
Yep.
Granite countertops.
Yep.
Nice. And our drawers are soft close, are they?
Yep.
Sure are. Nice.
Yep.
Nice cabinets. Plenty of cabinet space.
Yeah. This one definitely has a large kitchen and
Gas stove, 4-burner,
yep.
and super laundry.
Yep.
Laundry and mudroom.
Yep.
Got a deep sink here.
Mm-hmm.
Good size garage. Yeah, really deep.
Yep, this one's a little bit bigger than what we usually do. But yeah, it's nice to have that extra space, as you can see, for hunting and
what's the depth on this?
I think this one's 26.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
and it seems bigger.
Yeah, yep. Usually we just do 24.
Yeah, that
but yeah.
tends to be pretty standard.
Mhm.
Nice big heater in the corner.
Yep, propane.
And then this is kind of a unique little deal. I haven't seen that. That's
Yeah,
great
storage
for
system. Yeah, yep. Get some of your stuff out of the way.
Yeah. And so this is our mechanical, is it?
Yep.
So this is what the finished product looks. We got the hot water heater.
Yep, on-demand hot water heater.
Nice. And again, the rest of the stuff is down in the crawl space.
Yes. Yep.
And do we have any water issues with our crawl spaces out here?
No, so we do a vapor barrier, and then we put vents usually in our foundations and then seal them up afterwards for during construction. So it's a conditioned space.
And in some parts of Montana, and it just kind of hit or miss, we'll have radon issues.
Yes. Yep.
And so that vapor barrier, in some of the cases when you guys have built, we've built it with the ability to put it in.
Yep.
And in some areas down, like say for example in Hamilton,
We always put in radon.
put in mitigation on that. We've got in-ground sprinklers. There's our Rainbird control panel.
Yep.
And so we're sitting on how big a lot here?
This one's just over an acre.
Okay. And so we probably don't have an acre lawn,
Not quite.
but
You about could. You could if you wanted to.
yeah, and we've got a number of zones in there, no doubt.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's go check out the master. So here's our master.
Yep.
Now I gotta tell you, this is not a huge master.
Nope, it is small. Yeah.
But we got a lot of efficient space, and we got a lot of space in that living, kitchen, dining area.
Yeah.
So that takes up some space. And generally speaking, you're not in your master bedroom.
Very much.
Right.
Just
So
to sleep.
why not sleep? And we've got a great master bath.
Nice tile shower in there too. That was a custom add-on.
Yeah, let's take a look at our closet. Good size closet. Oh yeah, that's a great master. Oh, we'll get some.
Yeah. Instead of just doing this little entryway here, just kick this out to here.
Well, yeah. Well, Daniel, thank you, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank
MT
you.
Builders, that's going to be in the description below. We might just even put the link to you guys' website.
Perfect.
And so this is a ground up building project. This gives you an idea of the finished product and kind of the process that you go through when you're building. Well, we've hoped you've enjoyed this video with the Montana Real Estate Channel and Cyphers Family Real Estate. Look for us on our next video, and please hit that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever a new video comes out on the Montana Real Estate Channel. See you next time.